want to talk to you a little bit more about your work and what issues you focus on and about you and your filmmaking. So like your feature, what is that going to focus on?
It's a rom-com, LGBTQ rom-com. Also there's a lot of family drama in it. And I think, most rom-coms, of course, because how we approach romantic relationships, a lot of it has to do with our upbringing and everything. So like family is also a big part of it. But I always say it's not about coming out. Yes, it is a coming out story at the end. Plot wise, a coming out story, but it's never about coming out. Coming out is about being who you actually are and standing up for yourself, you know, and not really caring what other people think of you. So that is the theme. And I think and that's how and it shows up in every piece of my writing is about empowerment or um uh standing up for yourself and uh, uh, achieving obstacles despite fear. Like empowerment is a huge part of it. So I think pretty much everything I do has some sort of that element. And I think I just use that to really, oh, that's what I want to say. That's what I've been through. And that's what I'm still going through on a daily basis. So that's what I'm going to share with the world because I think people will resonate with it, regardless if you're LGBTQ, regardless if you are dealing with similar romantic situations or family situations.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all deal with being true to who we are, right? People talk about
Mhm.
authenticity all the time, and I think
Yeah.
society somehow we're all raised, right, to not be who we are, to fit in, to conform into, even I don't even mean it in an extreme way. Obviously, there's extreme conformity in the world, but just in a smaller way, conform to what your family does, conform to what your friend who sits next to you in class does. And I remember my sister was talking to her kid many years ago. Her kid's out of college now, but when her child was young, about how people can have different favorite colors. Just teaching that concept, not everybody's favorite color is the same. It's okay if yours is different, just on that basic level. So it's amazing how fundamental it is to learn that. You came into the arts world as an actor. So do you want to talk a little bit about like
Ooh.
what you've done, but also like being an actor in your own work? Because I find that fascinating and something that I don't know, I'd keep wanting to step out. I was talking to Talia Lagasse months ago about the same thing, and she had her own way of doing it, so I'm curious what yours is.
Um, it's not easy. I think the only way that I can be an actor in my own thing is that this character really has to be exactly who I am. Like it's not going to be a stretch for me. If it's going to be a stretch for me, then the bandwidth it's just I won't probably won't have enough bandwidth to both direct and act. So, you also want to have a very good support system when you are acting in your own thing, and especially if you're playing a big part in your own thing, you want to have a good support system, meaning you probably want a very good AD, you want good producers, like you want to have that system to buffer you so that you don't have to think about anything else. And when you're performing, you're just performing. And then in my case, in Made in Heaven, the short that you saw, my DP really did a lot of heavy lifting. Like sometimes I would not even watch it. Like she would watch it. Of course, she's always watching it. She would watch it and then she would say something and say, "Okay, let's do another take." And then I would direct the actor, and I also have to direct myself,
Right.
right? So, but then she would be giving me the feedback of, oh, that delivery is a little off compared to the last take. And I'm like, okay, well, let's not compare. Let's just do another take and see, So I would do that because she's good and she's taking care of that part.
Yeah,
So
Talia was talking about that too, about relying on your DP. She talked a lot about, I'm guessing you did this as well, like planning the shoot really well in advance so that when you're on set, you're not winging it. I mean, we're all winging it a little bit in an indie film. We all know things go wrong, and what the thing you least expect to go wrong
yeah,
will go wrong. But
yep,
in general, it's a very planned thing. So your DP can look and say, yeah, this is the shot we want and it's working, or no, it's not. And then you have to look at it, right?
yeah. So that's that. And I would say another thing is that when you are in your uh directing yourself, you're not directing the director. That's the thing. So because yes, you are the director, but you're not directing the director. So there's really like that kind of split personality sort of thing. So you have to know that you are directing this actor, and the director is a higher person, is the, because you have to listen to the director. But then you just have to know, okay, that director part of me is overriding the actor part of me, but the actor part of me, the director part of me also has to allow the actor part of me to play. So it's a very delicate process, but I also think this is how I work just on a day-to-day basis, is that I am my own boss, but I am also an artist. So when it comes to the planning, structuring, I put on my boss hat, but when I'm actually creating the work, writing, acting, I put on my artist hat. You don't put two hats at the same moment, but you do have to know that you have those two hats and at which point you need to put which one on.
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm nodding a lot because I write, direct, and I obviously edit my own work, and I work as an editor. So when I'm in the edit room, the editor's talking to the director and saying, no, you can't do that, but it's all in my head. I mean, sometimes, it's kind of like having a multiple personality, but not really. I mean, obviously it's not the same thing, but you are very divided, and you do have to know which one is higher up in your hierarchy in that moment, because when you're on set, the editor might be thinking, well, I wish we could get this and that. And the director, producer in your head is going, well, we can't, and we trump you because we're on set right now, right? So you have to constantly balance that. So it's fascinating. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about that we did not get to?
No, I've just been, I've been a little like a hermit recently because I've been writing a lot and writing and rewriting a lot. Learning a lot, writing a whole bunch of grants. It's just like this is really the time where I'm like, oh, I'm actually an introvert, and this is how I like to work, and I really enjoy working like this, and just me and my dog. And sometimes we have like writers groups, but most of the time I work alone, and that's how I like to work. So yeah, I think it's a very different I'm in a very different mode of my life right now because I was hustling a whole lot. And now all of a sudden I'm like, well, let me just do the work.
There is that constant flow of balancing and saying, when are you stepping away and like, look, I'm just doing this. I can't do this other stuff right now, or I need to focus on this. And then when do you come back out into the world and jump back into making those projects that you've been spending all this time writing and just getting out there?